Yeah, y'all hear me out there? Shit, you already know we just went to Buc-ee's, man. Spence vs. the World podcast, dude. We doing a road trip right now. Oh shit, I'm going the wrong way. Oops. Heading to Washington, D.C. Sliding over, seeing some old homies and stuff. It's going to be a good time. We're out there. I'm going to be hitting up Grasse Mille to see Scratch Bastard play, see some old homies from Chicken and Whiskey and stuff like that. You know, I had to make a little pit stop real quick. Hit up Buc-ee's and got me some chicken Vegeta tacos, man. It's like my probably fourth time this week getting Mexican food. You know, whether it's Taco Bell, some sort of tacos. I went and had some dinner with the homies last night. It was for a birthday and their fam and stuff. It was a good time. Stepped out a little bit. Now we're going at it again, man. And I want to apologize. I haven't really, apologize to my audience. I haven't really been putting myself out there on the podcast. A lot of people have been asking what's going on. For me, man, it's just mostly the consistency, I guess you'd say. Got a lot of things, projects and stuff that I'm working on. I just started my electrical company, trying to get those ducks in a row, and power washing's been kicking off strong. I took a hiatus from DJing as well. So that kind of took a little damper on my time as far as booking gigs. I got this project I'm working on soon where I'm going out of town again, and this traffic is crazy. It just so happened people are pulling in. But yeah, so I figured I'd jump on here real quick while I'm riding down the road. I'm in the Tesla, so it's not like I'm gonna be having any issues. The only thing is probably the camera's gonna be shaking like crazy, but whatever, it gives it a little added effect. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on here, man, do another little solo joint, you know what I'm saying, see what's going on, let everybody get caught up. I think my last one I did was probably in January or something, and I did it with my boy Carson, and honestly, dude, it was a good one. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know why I really stopped. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Sorry if the tin foil's making a bunch of noise. I just want to try this taco real quick. Damn, it's not bad. But now, I've just been traveling a little bit. I was just up in Austin probably 3 weeks ago. First time in Austin ever. Had a blast, man. I was hanging out with all them boys down there, Shade 45 guys. Met up with my buddy Nicky. I haven't seen him in years. And finally met my boy Prince the DJ, who also knows Nicky and stuff. But long story short, man, everybody's doing good. I had a great time down there. Met a lot of cool folks, man. Reconnected with a lot of folks too. Just had an overall good time. But yeah, as far as the podcast goes, man, I don't know if it was just laziness, but I also do have this problem where I just don't really stay consistent, I always need to take little breaks for stuff, and it's not that I didn't really have time for it. I mean, even if I did a solo podcast, I was trying to do one a week, and I'm going to stick with it. It's just hard to do it weekly. Sometimes, you got good content to talk about, but see, sometimes I feel like when you go too long without it, you forget, things and key things that happen, so you don't really get a chance to actually inform the people listening, which I had a really good time since that last podcast. Like I said, took a hiatus on DJing, wasn't driving up to DC a lot. I thought I was going to do this travel job in the next, actually I was supposed to start last 2 months ago, last week. And long story short, man, it just kind of kept falling through the cracks, and now I'm here, about to leave in the next week or so. And I'd already almost be back by now, if it would have started sooner. Hopefully this camera's not shaking too much. But yeah, I've been just chilling, man. Nothing too crazy. Just kind of doing my thing and trying not to work myself to death. Been doing the electrical thing and helping a buddy of mine out with all that stuff, and had to get on a roof the other day, and that was real crazy. But overall, life's good. Got some chicken fajita tacos right here. Pretty decent, Just riding down the road, man. Seems like my camera's shaking a little too much, but I'm not even going to the speed limit right now. But yeah, overall, life's been good. Sorry, I'm trying to drive at the same time. We got hemmed up in some traffic here. Anyway, sorry about that. I just got hung up in a bunch of crazy traffic right there. I was coming through a certain part of the interstate. But no, overall, I've just been having some, I guess, points in my, time in my schedule where I needed the time to focus on other things. And like I said, it's really no excuses to not have a podcast. I guess when you're living in the moment of it and you're doing all these different things and you try to find time, it's pretty difficult. That's why I got these DJI mics, just so I can, do on the road podcasts, right? Yeah, it's cool having a microphone and stuff. Who cares? I could have probably just held a microphone and pretended, but overall, that's just why I haven't been doing it. It's funny, a lot of people are trying to do the podcast with me, and they're trying to do all these different episodes and stuff, and it's actually more difficult than I anticipated it to be. I have a friend, he works for Shade 45 as a producer, Sirius XM as a producer for certain shows and stuff, and he talked about that. He's I told him about my podcast, and he was like, well, how many episodes do you have? I was like, well, I have 14. And he's like, dude, you got more than most. Most people do it. They put together they mesh everything and try to do everything, and then it just falls. They just don't want to do it anymore. And me, it's I actually it's once I record it, I know that I have to finish it and publish it. So it's really hard for me to, sorry, my camera keeps, there we go. It's really hard for me to not publish it. It's once I have it recorded, it's I've already done. That's the hardest part. The hardest part is actually, I think, finding the time to sit down and record everything. Whatever, but I really would like to start incorporating different, kind of create a brand with it and stuff. But the thing is you got to do it first, right? Before you can actually put yourself out there. But overall, I still enjoy doing the podcast and stuff, and that's what I was saying. I have these little DJI mics and for sort of mobile stuff, and I just have, it's super simple. I'm using my phone right now and just doing it off the phone, and I have a little handheld thing on the Tesla, or hands-free thing for the phone. But yeah, I was riding down the road listening to my favorite podcaster, Joey Diaz, with the Church of What's Happening Now, and I was just listening. It's funny, it's I kind of incorporate my DJ stuff with my podcast, my DJ career, is what you would say, with like comedians stuff. You know, it's like very similar, where you're kind of doing it for not really any money at first, and then, you know, it's like, I don't know, Joey just puts it in a different perspective than a lot of, it's like he talks about stuff that people don't tell you about, like in the entertainment industry, I guess you would say, you know, and the struggle and the grind and the first, you know, when you first start doing something, and, you know, you think you're going to be like an overnight success, and you're really not, you know, and, you know, they say it takes like 4 years to become an overnight success, you know, and, or whatever it is, you know, it's like they didn't see what you were doing beforehand. So it's kind of one of those things where I guess I relate a lot to a lot of his ideologies and stuff like that. And when he's like, oh, you need to go to, you know, why would you go do this gig just to be a headliner at some shitty room in some random city when you really could just be doing the same thing in your hometown, you know? But it's like, for the same amount of money, you know, it's like, yeah, you might be making $1,000 to go do this gig, but the flight is $350, $400, and then you gotta get an Uber, then you gotta get a room. He's like, by the time it's all said and done, then you gotta eat. You only made, you know, $300, where you could have just done that gig over in your hometown, you know. But it's like the idea of hopping on a plane, like I'm traveling, I'm doing this. And that's the thing, man, a lot of these people don't know how to price themselves out, and like I do it all the time. I mean, I travel for gig, but I actually enjoy DJing, so like I don't mind taking that L, and like it gives me a reason to travel, you know, as long as it pays my expenses and everything kind of meshes properly and falls in line, you know. I mean, it's just like when I went to New York City to do a gig the second time, I didn't even go. I went and did a freebie. I literally did a free show, and it was just like not nearly as fun as the first time that I went, like with zero plan. I was just kind of like there. It was different. It was just one of them things, I guess. Like I said, he puts it into a different perspective, and that's who I like kind of listen to when it comes to like, oh man, you know, like I said, you know, you're going here, you're going there, you know, value yourself more. You know, once you start kind of getting the ball rolling, that's when you need to start charging more. Like, look, this is what I do, this is what I've done. And that's the same, not just with DJing, I just use that as an example. It's like even like, you know, the power washing or the electrical company, you know, I've been kind of kicking that off, sort of just doing my own little thing. I got this travel project coming up, so I haven't been really pushing that, you know, but it just kind of depends on what I want to do, I guess. It's one of those things. It's kind of a lot of work, I guess you'd say. I don't really want to start a business right at this moment, you know. I kind of have the power washing stuff sort of doing its own thing. But, you know, I have been blessed with what that is and what that's became. I mean, I'm not really out here making $1 million a year off of it, you know, or anything, but it's fun, you know. I like to have my eggs in different baskets, you know, even if it's one thing over here makes me 10 grand and something else over here makes me 10 grand, you know, and then you have a main thing that makes you whatever. It all kind of weighs out, you know. So that's kind of what I'm into now, you know, is just trying to get a lot of that small stuff really rolling and more automated. Then I don't have to mess with anything, and then it's just, you know, everybody wins. You know, what's the win-win, as a buddy of mine says. He's like, what's the win-win? How can we do it where everybody wins, not just I win? So, you know, that's fun. But yeah, overall, you know, I've been kind of focusing on my career stuff. Everybody's doing good for the most part. But yeah, I don't really know what to even talk about. Yeah, I'm stoked to go to see Scratch Bastard, you know, for the second time this year already. I mean, He's a really good DJ, like definitely one of my DJs that I really enjoy watching and stuff. And I'm just stoked to kind of go up. I'm sure a bunch of homies are going to be there. Like these are things I do. I just pull up. I don't really even like figure out who's doing what, where we're going, when we're doing. You know what I mean? I just like to kind of go and just see what happens and have some fun with it. And you just never know who you're going to meet. You know, just never know who you're going to meet. I just kind of enjoy doing that. Just taking my time out of the day just to roll out. Or out of the weekend, you know. And then tomorrow is gonna be a long day. I gotta drive back, so the car is saying that it's a 5-hour drive for some reason from Roanoke to DC, which is kind of crazy. I don't really know how it's that long, but then I gotta pretty much go do my thing all evening today. I'm gonna swing by my Spot Chicken and Whiskey. I gotta get some food from there. It's one of my favorite places to eat. Checking that out, and then hanging out with my buddy that's DJing there. Then I'm gonna slide over to probably another spot to see my other homeboy, just to see what the time's looking like, and then I'm gonna slide over to the Gracia Mille event. And like I said, man, I'm gonna be up probably all night, you know, just having some fun, doing whatever. And then I gotta wake up in the morning and drive straight back. And I got 2 gigs Saturday night, Saturday day, and then Saturday evening, and then Saturday night I got a 6 to 9, which is going to be more like hip-hop, R&B. I'm going to do a little bit of a different vibe. And then Saturday night, tomorrow night, at 10 o'clock, I'm doing like an EDM house, like a heavy, more like, you know, just sort of do a different influence. This time I actually promoted it and like posted a flyer and stuff and just kind of rolled with it. I threw like $30 on the flyer. I'm doing a duo collab with this girl that DJs in my hometown, and she's super dope. Crazy enough, I thought she'd been doing it for a lot longer than she had, and she's like, yeah, I've been DJing for 2 years. I mean, she is like really good, you know. So I'm stoked about that. I think it's gonna be a really, really fun time, and I just wanna, that's all I'm looking for, man. I'm just looking to have some fun and not, you know, be out here tripping out, not enjoying myself. That's the goal. The goal in life is to have some fun and do your thing, and, you know, whatever happens, happens. So I'm just kind of glad I jumped on here and put this together, this little pod. I just kind of wanted to do an update, catch up on some stuff. You know, spring's here, weather's nice. You know, I've barely been staying in. I probably should stay in a little bit more to watch that pocketbook, you know what I'm saying? But hey, you know, it is what it is. And this job I got coming up, I'm not sure if I, you know, for the next 90 days if I can actually post stuff, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if I like keep it kind of whatever. But anyways, yeah, so yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, man. I'm about to go do this event. I might throw another podcast on, you know, next week, just sort of try to keep this weekly shit going. I mean, I know this is a Friday thing, but, you know, I just wanted to get one out a week, have some fun with it. That's the first time I've seen that. It's like endless caverns on the side of this mountain right here. I can't really mess with those, man. I don't really like going to the caves and stuff. I will say, man, it's really beautiful out here, that's for sure. That's why I kind of enjoy this drive, because it's nice and easy, and, you know, it's not too bad when you're in the Tesla. You got autopilot. I'm just kind of letting it just do its thing. You know, just got to watch your surroundings, you know. But yeah, overall, everything's been good. Like I said, I've just been kind of putting on a little hiatus just to not do as much, just trying to not spread myself thin, I guess you would say. So I've been sort of prioritizing the things that matter at the moment. You know, this podcast thing isn't really paying the bills yet, I guess. So one of those things where I just kind of keep on riding the wave and whatever happens, but if you don't have that consistency, like I was saying before, I mean, like DJing's the only thing I've really been consistent and true, other than like electrical work, for like the past 5 years. So and it's only gotten better as I've gotten better. I can put myself at the table with people that are better than me, obviously, but like I can hang, like if I need to be booked for anything, or if there's like, yeah, hey, you want to jump on, like I'm able to do that. Like I'm getting to that point now where I can kind of and I'm trying to set myself apart from the rest of these other DJs in the industry. I mean, a lot of them just kind of push buttons and stuff, and I want to sort of make my own path and navigate. So, but yeah, I just wanted to do a shorty. This is only probably like a 20-minute one, nothing crazy. I just want to do a quick little short podcast, just sort of check in, catch up, let everybody know what's going on. I had the Buc-ee's fajitas, so I had to try those. They're all right. I've had the burrito. I think the burrito's a little bit better. What I'm saying, the breakfast burrito brisket, but they didn't have any brisket tacos, which I thought was kind of weird, but whatever. But yeah, overall everything's good. Everybody's good. Family's good. So yeah, just trying to get better in front of the microphone, man, in front of the camera. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put this out here for my biggest fan, my mom. I know she likes to watch her podcast. She just had this podcast. She had a hip replacement, so prayers up for her. Making sure she's doing good. Yeah, I think she'll be fine. It's gotta get to moving a little bit, but yeah. So I'm about to say she's probably the only one that's really watching these podcasts, I think. So, but yeah, I'll talk to you later on. I'm about to have some fun, and then whatever happens. So I might do another one next week, and hopefully I can just keep these rolling again, even if they're solos. I'm gonna have my mic, like I always keep these little mics on me just to have them. So yeah, just for them pop up podcasts, But alright, well, I'm out. Spence vs. the World podcast. I need to get better introductions and outros, but we'll figure that out another time. Later.